There are certain aspects of life that you may not have been aware of, such as the similarity in taste of all Fruit Loop colors or the long shelf life of apples in grocery stores. However, there are certain things that wealthy people do not want you to know, which is why in this video, I will be revealing 7 incredible money rules the rich don't want you to know, and that will completely change your perspective on money. Let's dive in.
Welcome to GenUus.
The rule of maximizing benefit. What ideas come to your mind when you contemplate having money? Could it be getting a new car, providing meals for your family, or buying a stylish outfit for your night out this weekend? If these ideas come to mind, it is a sign that you understand the real purpose of money, which is to provide access to the things we desire or need. Unfortunately, the full value of money is not often grasped, and this is where many people fail. If you are currently making a meager salary, you may believe that earning more money will solve most of your problems. Nevertheless, although money can fix financial problems, it can also bring about a wide range of other issues. For instance, despite earning twice as much as before, you are now putting in twice the effort, which has put a strain on your relationship. Additionally, due to your intense workload, you have not had the time to go to the gym, and as a result, your clothes are becoming too tight. It is important to keep in mind that even if you are trying to gain more money in order to improve your life, you will still be facing some issues. Everyone has some sort of problem, so it is important to make sure that the number of issues you are resolving is greater than the number of issues you are creating. If you are wealthy, you may not need to be concerned about expenses, but you could have relatives repeatedly asking for money. Additionally, you could be anxious that one day you may lose all your money that you worked hard to obtain. Consequently, even though it is important to strive to make money, don't let it delude you into believing that more money automatically leads to a life without issues. The rule of time. If you ask a wealthy individual, they will tell you that time is undoubtedly the most precious resource. Unfortunately, most individuals don't recognize the importance of time when it comes to becoming wealthy. Consequently, the majority of people will remain in a state of financial mediocrity. On the other hand, those who prioritize time are also able to gain control over their finances. This is accomplished through the comprehension of 2 essential concepts. It is usually not possible to exchange time for money, as everyone has a limited number of hours in a day. Making a substantial income on your own can be difficult, especially if you are aiming to become wealthy before reaching retirement age. As we age, we have less time to dedicate to earning money. When I was younger and single, I could easily work 14 hours a day. Once you start having to take care of a home and family, it becomes difficult to maximize the time you have to generate wealth. That is why the wealthiest people look for ways to grow their wealth beyond their own 24-hour day. Examining the wealthiest individuals on the Forbes list, it is obvious that they are entrepreneurs who have taken advantage of people's time, money, and knowledge. Does this mean that you have misunderstood the concept of time? Not necessarily. What this does emphasize is that becoming wealthy involves recognizing the role your time plays in your wealth accumulation process. It takes time to build a successful career, start up a business and increase its profits, and make use of the stock market and compound interest to become wealthy, all of which are necessary for climbing the corporate ladder. Even Warren Buffett knows this to be true. Once you understand the importance of utilizing your own and other people's time effectively, creating wealth becomes much simpler. The rule of safeguarding. Have you ever questioned why you work? It's probably not because you enjoy hearing about your colleagues' family issues or having to stay late to meet an unrealistic goal. Most often, the answer is straightforward. You work so you can pay your expenses and eventually retire. Unfortunately, although many individuals possess the ability to amass wealth through hard work and dedication, they do not possess the knowledge to safeguard their finances and thus extend the journey to financial independence longer than necessary. What does the skill of protection involve? It's defending yourself from those who want to take your money. We encounter them every day. It's the holiday your wife has been asking you to go on that would cost 3 years' worth of savings. It's the expensive house your parents want you to purchase to maintain your family's reputation. It's the $80,000 car you hope will bring back some excitement in your life. All of these are financial obstacles that can stop you from achieving financial freedom. Making money is something anyone can do. However, the difference between those who become and remain wealthy and those who struggle financially is their ability to manage the resources they possess. it's vital to understand that, similarly to not being able to exercise your way out of an unhealthy diet, you can't out-earn a spending issue. Therefore, the more mindful you are with your money, the more successful you will be. If you're liking the video so far, please show your support and hit that like button. Much appreciated. The rule of minimum savings. Throughout your lifetime, you have been encouraged to save money. Your parents told you to save for an uncertain future. The media has suggested you put aside your cash, and banks are eager to take your money. Nevertheless, should you really be saving your money? Not always. Saving money is not necessarily the key to financial success that it is made out to be. In fact, when you save your money, you are actually making the bank wealthier rather than yourself. You may not be aware of it, but banks generate a large portion of their revenue by utilizing your deposits to lend out to others at high interest rates, while providing you with a minimal amount of gain. This does not mean that you should completely abstain from saving. Rather, you should be more thoughtful in the amount of money you deposit in the bank. For example, I keep just enough money in my bank account to cover any unforeseen circumstances or my regular expenses. As someone who is more risk-averse, I prefer to have enough saved to cover a year's worth of expenses. However, if you are just beginning to save up, a good goal would be to accumulate 3 to 6 months of expenses. With the remainder of my funds, I invest in real estate, index funds, and other investments to generate higher returns than a bank would offer. This is why it is important to put as much money as possible into investments instead of saving it. The rule of expectation. Most people likely believe that they will be happy once they reach a certain salary or net worth. I have come to understand that no matter how many times I tell myself to reach my goal, it never truly satisfies me. Rather, it only pushes me to strive for something greater. Once I achieved the goal of making $80,000 a year, I realized that more money would make me even happier. Subsequently, I increased my goal, aiming for $90,000 and then $120,000 and so on. Are you suggesting that it is wrong to strive for financial success? Not necessarily. But putting off joy until some future point is a common misstep. And unfortunately, many of us keep perpetuating this mistake on a daily basis. What is the significance of understanding this? Even though this idea may be resonating with you, many of us don't truly comprehend it and instead keep setting our expectations higher. I have learned that when our current situation does not meet our expectations, it can lead to feelings of unhappiness and dissatisfaction. For example, suppose you got a new job last year that paid you $65,000 annually. You felt you deserved this salary, so when those paychecks started arriving, you were very pleased. Despite having a year of excellent performance and gaining more experience, you still only make $65,000 and expect to be making $70,000. This discrepancy of $5,000, known as your expectation gap, is the cause of your resentment and will continue to prevent you from being content. For example, some individuals who make $150,000 annually may not be content due to their high expectations, whereas those who make $50,000 may be satisfied because they did not anticipate achieving more than $40,000. Consequently, to find financial satisfaction, it is necessary to balance your expectations. You can accomplish this by either setting higher goals or reducing your desires, whatever works best for you. However, it is likely that you will not be content until you achieve a harmonized gap between your desires and your reality.
The rule of privacy. If you inquire as to why people desire to become wealthy, many will give you a list of items they would purchase if they had the funds. But is that what it truly means to be rich? In Morgan Housel's The Psychology of Money, he astutely observes that wealth is what you don't see. This is evidenced by the fact that a lot of the wealthiest people I know lead relatively humble lives, with ordinary cars and average houses, nothing that would be worthy of special recognition. However, if you were to take a peek into their bank accounts, you would be greatly surprised. If we delve further into the true meaning of this proverb, it provides us with insight into how we can become wealthy. As the proverb goes, wealth is what you don't see, which implies that part of achieving wealth is refraining from ostentatious displays of affluence. This is a reminder that purchasing material items will not help us to achieve financial abundance. Although it makes logical sense that the more you spend, the less you have, it can be difficult to actually practice financial conservatism. It can be hard to resist the temptation of buying something new or taking a vacation, but the more you are able to save and invest, the faster you will become wealthy. If you are currently aiming for wealth for the purpose of buying material possessions, you may want to reconsider your strategy. Instead of striving for wealth through material goods, focus on attaining the feeling of freedom and power that it can bring. This is because the more you require, the more difficult it is to acquire wealth, while the less you need, the easier it is to acquire it. The rule of obligation. What is the greatest advantage of being a child? Not going outside during break time, or having one's mother choose their clothing. The best thing about being a kid is having no obligations and not worrying about anything. Sadly, our state of complete bliss cannot last forever, and we must take on certain duties and obligations. This includes our employment, family roles, and the assets and liabilities we gain. When it comes to the products we purchase, they offer us many advantages. For example, buying a house provides a space to build a family and likely an asset that will increase in value. At the same time, it also requires regular mortgage payments, potential repair costs, and ties you to one location. Surprisingly, this is considered a form of productive debt. When examining credit card debt, the benefits are minimal. You may experience a brief moment of convenience, however, you are then faced with the ongoing burden of interest charges and payments, which can reduce your financial freedom. The concept of true wealth is not determined by the number of possessions you own, but how much control those possessions have over your life. It is possible to be wealthy even with minimal possessions, as long as they don't dictate how you spend your time and money. On the other hand, having an expensive car or home can be great, but if these items begin to limit your freedom, then they will reduce your overall wealth, no matter how much you can afford them. To feel wealthier regardless of one's financial situation, it is essential to rid oneself of any financial obligations, such as student and credit card debts. Striving to be mortgage-free will give a sense of accomplishment and a greater sense of wealth than what one is currently experiencing. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Please leave your comments and let me know what you think. If you haven't already, kindly give this video a like and subscribe. I wish you a lovely night or day, and I'll see you in the next one.